The Church of Mavis Radio Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with EVP Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, EVP Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EVPExpeditionsmagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EVPExpeditionsmagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
And welcome to this episode of the Gateway Podcast. I'm your host, C.L. Thomas. We're broadcasting from 107.7 FM New Orleans. How is everyone out there tonight? You were just listening to Sean Kelly with Into the Night, and they had this wonderful discussion about the Salem witch trials. That's one of my favorite topics, you guys. So I wrote a dissertation back in my day, after med school, that is. I went back to school for literature and for mass communications and journalism, and I actually did a dissertation on Nathaniel Hawthorne. Here's a little tidbit that you might not have known. So Nathaniel Hawthorne's great-grandfather was actually one of the witches on the Salem witch trials. His name was, I actually forget his first name, but it is Hawthorne. So Nathaniel Hawthorne wanted to separate himself from the Salem witch trials and from his great-grandfather and from his line of Puritanism. Unfortunately, his ancestors were Puritans, but that's why his name is spelled the way it is. He took the W out of his name just to separate himself from it. A little interesting tidbit there. So in Vegas, it's currently 109. The nightly cool downs have absolutely stopped. So it's like around 100 degrees at night now. And because of that, it's drawing out the scorpions. So I have some new neighbors. I recently moved and I got these neighbors. And one of our fun things that we've been doing is scorpion hunting with black lights. It's pretty interesting. We've been finding them all over the place. They're not in my house, thank goodness, but I have been sleeping with the light on and everything. Hi, Joe Fox. How are you? The Pearl World has a lot going on as usual, from travel trip turf wars to Annabelle. The travel trip wars aren't even worth mentioning, honestly. It's, we won't even go there. But deepest condolences to those who knew Dan Rivera. It's very sad news. And, there's a lot of stuff going on right now about that whole story. Is Annabelle causing these kinds of problems? What do you guys think? I mean, is it all incidental or is there really something more to it? I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you do have some thoughts on the matter, drop them in the comments. I'd like to hear it. So one of my favorite things about the paranormal world, it's EVPs. That's my number one most favorite thing to collect evidence-wise is EVPs. So my guest tonight is the wonderful Todd Bates. He started a new thing, EVP Explorations. He's also an author, called Haunted Voices, which is very, very good, mind you. His story is phenomenal. I just love his story. So he's become like my go-to over the last few years with questions regarding any EVP equipment, anything EVPs. So let me get him on here. Hi, Todd. Welcome to the show.
Hey, CL. Great to see you. Great to see you. Oh, my goodness, scorpions. No. No.
I'm so terrified of these things. And I tell you what, they're about as big as the palm of my hand.
No
And
way.
you can't see them with your eye, but as soon as you shine a black light on these things, they glow. You can't miss them.
Wow.
And they're everywhere. The heat, I guess, brings them out. So they're just everywhere outside. They're crawling around like roaches or something. It's the craziest thing.
I mean, if you get stung, are they poisonous, all of them? Or
They can be. Yeah.
Oh, see, I'd be terrified.
Concern. So
Whoa.
my house is kind of a nuclear war zone right now, because I know you're not supposed to do this, but I got one of those giant gallons of scorpion spray. They do sell something. I sprayed the entire house, and I went back for more, and I'm going to do it again.
You do what you've got to do to take care of you, CL.
I'm probably going to have cancer or something.
Be careful. Be careful. Oh, thanks for having me, though. It's great to be here. Great to talk to you again.
It's so wonderful having you back on. So, EVP Explorations, what is it?
Oh, holy cow. Oh, that's a newborn baby there. Back in January. Well, it was October where I had sparked the idea and developed it in November and then released it last January. And what it is, to make a long story short, really, when I first started in this field, it was very difficult to find information. Now it's everywhere, which makes it very difficult to find information. So I tried to narrow everything down to electronic voice phenomenon and your basic paranormal needs into a one-stop shop. EVP Explorations was born. I wrote some courses. The courses come from a study guide that I wrote back in 2004, and they've been modernized. I keep pulling them out of there. It's great going through that old thing. So it's bringing back some memories, but the courses are free of charge. They are of no cost to anyone at any time. I'm a firm believer that education in that nature should be free to give a better foundation than what's out there. We need a better foundation. We need some place to start. This is a place to start. A lot of beginners are in there. There's 152 students that are in there taking these courses. It's incredible, CL. It's a lot of fun. They're going through there, and you can kind of check in on their progress and things. And it's a place where people can go and feel safe as well. There's no backlash. There's no questions. Anything. There's real examples there. There's authentic EVP for you. There's all kinds of things. You can catch up on the past live show that comes with it. It's all one big conglomerate. It's all one unit. It's all one community. And it's a labor of love. It was, for those of you folks that may be watching and remember the old Haunted Voices show that I had for 20 plus years, that old thing.
That old thing. Wait a minute. That was a good show.
Yeah, it was. It had a good run, and it kind of went off to the wayside on me. So I had to kind of push it to the side, yet reinvent it, which is what I did, because Haunted Voices started out as a community. It was a chat room. It was a place very few gathered at first, and then the word spread. Then they came to the chats. They learned I was teaching EVP lessons. It was so much fun. That's how the podcast was born, was I had to reach more people to reach more lessons. So I got an audio server. Bloom, there's these people, and it just grew and grew and grew. Well, it kind of went away from electronic voice phenomenon. It went more into Sasquatch. and things of that because I dove in there and it went what? So
you went down the rabbit hole.
down that rabbit hole, I got caught, CL, and it's easy to do that in this field, to get caught in those rabbit holes. I did. It was a big one, but
I mean, did you ever get like EVPs of Bigfoot?
No, I've been on.
Have them now.
I know, and some of them are really good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to crawl back down there, CL. But I think you know, if you want a quick opinion of what I think of such as Sasquatch out there, yeah, I think that bugger's out there. But I also think be careful what you see, folks. There's a lot of fakery, but there's some legitimate things. I mean, I can't explain them. They're pretty wild. You can't write them off. So I don't know. You know, that's why I love this field. It's 50-50. There's no absolutes. You know, you could be sitting here and you really have to use your common sense. And for a lot of us, that's tough. We have enough to worry about. Then common sense kicks in and that makes us really worry. But, you know, you have to, you have to kind of dissect what you see and hear there. And the courses there on the website, they help you do that. They help you decipher a few things. Because when you're first coming into this field, you know as well as I do, CL, it's tough.
Oh,
There's
man.
a lot.
Yeah.
There's so much.
I like how you said that it's a safe place because some of the people, I don't know where the arrogance come in with some of these people, but if you ask a question or say anything wrong, they're very quick to just totally destroy you over it.
Quick to dismiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's just bitterness.
Is that what that is? I didn't know.
There's a lot of bitterness in this community at the moment. There is.
Yeah, there is.
You know, but it's tasted that way before. I've tasted it. It's not good. And I would like to say this is going to pass really quick. It's a trend. It's a fad. It's going to stay around for a minute, and it's going to take a complete reboot for all of us to come together. I'm not talking about para-unity. That's near impossible. Mm-hmm. I'm talking sensibility, why we're here, CL. You know, I'm here. Me personally, I can speak for myself. And if you're in this field and have been in this field for any long period of time, you know as well as I do, you want to know if there's any trace of life after death. If there's anything after we die. We have crossed that line that most people don't cross. Most people stay behind and they wait for one of us to cross. Well, we've crossed. We're here. So now it's time to own up to that. Almost take it as an oath. You know, you cross that line. You can't go back. You can't unbelieve. That's a little rough. That's a little rough on the psyche.
See what you see.
Yeah. You know, so be mindful. Just be very mindful out there with this stuff.
With your classes that you teach,
mm-hmm.
do you delve into sort of like the different kinds of EVPs?
The classes?
Yeah, the classes.
Absolutely. What we do, there's on the website, EVPExplorations.com. There's a courses, EVP 101, 102, and 103. Excuse me. 101, 102, 103. Now, 101 is going to go over the basics. What is an EVP? What may it be? How are they captured and so forth? Then it gets into the classification system. Now, the classification system, the funny thing about this, a lot of people don't know this. It was developed by my mentor, Sarah Estep. It was developed by her back in the 70s, and it was something that she was a teacher, and it was something simple for the A, B's, and C's. So she developed the ABC classification system. Hello. From the ABC classification system, and it was born. A class A is one that is heard. It's profound. It's heard by more than 4 people. It has the same sound, same meaning. You know, it's clearly understandable. A class B is more of your jarbled mess. It may be clear in the front, a little jarbled in the back. Still a class B. So class B's got a little jarbled. They're more common. Class C are the most common. Those are your whispers, your faint sounds, things of that nature. And most of those are captured on digital recorders, as per using the cassette analog recorder. If you folks know what those are,
Yeah.
I suggest you look them up. They're pretty cool tools in this field. But those are your two that you have. And, getting into the field, there's a lot of beginners that are in those courses, and getting into the field, they're asking, they'll put comments in there and they'll ask popular models, popular good microphones, what's a good brand, and everybody wants to get what the bang for their buck. What I suggest, the easiest thing I suggest, and I can't suggest this enough, is get out there and see what aligns with you. Okay, use a little bit of your psyche up there. If you're looking at a particular recorder, for example, and it's a nice recorder, it's within your budget, it does what you need, study it, look at it, see if you align with it. Is that something you can work with on a daily basis? Is that something you're going to depend on? Is that something that's going to depend on you? Is it going to take a lot of maintenance to clean it, to do this? Are the files easy to get off of it? Little things like that. See if you align yourself with that piece of equipment. Believe it or not, you get more results that way. Because if you're using something you don't like, why would they? I think it just they read the energy in the room, CO. I think it's that simple. I really do. I think we complicate a lot of things. I think it's a lot more simple than what it maybe because I'm a simple man, but I think it's something extremely simple, and we're just overlooking it.
Do you think that some people seem to draw the EVPs in more so than others? Because I've heard a lot of people will go out and they spend a lot of time in cemeteries and things with the recorders. This is a two-part question, actually, and they'll get nothing. I've always been able to go out and I get a ton of EVPs everywhere I go. But then the second part of that question is, do you train the students to kind of listen for those EVPs? Because I think it takes a trained ear to actually hear them too, a lot of times on EVPs. So maybe they are picking up those EVPs, but they just don't hear them.
Yeah, those are great questions. Great questions. And to kind of go to the first one a little bit, what I suggest for that particular situation, multiple recorders and so forth, hopefully I didn't get the wrong meaning from it, but going out into the field, you kind of, you don't want to judge, you don't want to be judgmental. You want to keep so much caution in the back of your mind, yet you want to be open-minded. Going into a situation such as that, you want to be extremely open-minded. If you go in there and you're a complete skeptic, one or two things are going to happen. Nothing or nothing, in my opinion. I've tried it both ways, folks. Trust me, I was 100% diehard against this, and nothing. If you're skeptic, you're not looking for those kinds of things. You're not listening for those kinds of things. You're not doing those kinds of things. One individual I know does those kinds of things, Kenny Biddle. Now, Kenny will. He's a different kind of skeptic, though. He's a good dude. But if you go in there with your mind open, that opens up to me the entire environment. You're opening. I can speak as far as an EVP session is concerned, and I want you folks to be forewarned of something too. And I know there's a lot of misconception, a lot of stereotype, a lot of misunderstanding of a Ouija board. An EVP session, folks, in my opinion, is no different. Okay, it's the same principle. You're opening up a line of communication, period. And properly used, either one is a fantastic tool in this field. Oh, hello, Daryl. It's my boss out of work tuning in. That's cool. But they're both essential tools in this field. Now, I don't use that regularly, of course not. In the beginning, yes, I used it to help interpret certain things, and it does do a good job with that. But it's how you use it. Now, the EVP session and so forth, it takes very little CL to get started as well. Getting into that, you could pick up a recorder for 20 to 40 bucks. You can pick up a secondhand cassette recorder for 10 bucks. It's crazy what's out there. Look in your secondhand stores. These digital recorders and analog recorders are all over the place.
I use a little Sony.
Boom, boom, just like that, like that. And it takes that some time, a little ingenuity on hooking it up to your computer, but the courses cover all of that. Now, one thing they do touch upon, and that is listening. I am working on 2 other courses actually on that exact topic. It's tough to describe. It is very hard because they're all text-based, so it's very hard to put a lot of this into words. But I'm doing pretty good with it. It's coming together pretty good, and it will explain just that. What to listen for, what to filter, what not to filter, less is more, when to use this, when to use that. It's going to get even more detailed into that, which it depends on how far you want to go, how much you want to chase one of these EVP captures that you capture, that you've worked so hard, that you've worked hours out there, you've sat there starving to death. You've got to go, but you can't. Hey, Jalen, but you can't go. And you're stuck there. So with that, in this field, coming into this field, take some courses. They're free of charge over there. Like I said, it's education you can use. It's something you can take away. You get a little certificate at the end. It's fun times. It's good stuff. They were a lot of fun to put together. And they're helping a lot of people. I get a lot of emails and so forth about the thing. Some of them are a little tricky. There's some advanced ones that are a little tricky. They're for advanced people too. But still, you can pick and choose what you like, what you don't like in there. And let me know. Let me know the feedback. If you want a course on something, I'll see, what I can do. But they're a lot of fun to put together. And hopefully it helps a lot of people out there. CL, that's what it's all about.
I heard recently, somebody was telling me that there is, I think it is still Olympus maybe. I'm not really a tech girl, so I don't really know all of the popular equipment out there.
That's all I use is Olympus.
Olympus? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody told me recently that, I think they were saying that particular brand, something happens to it over time, and so it starts messing up recording. So you get like more static, you get more noises that aren't supposed to be there, and so they say that recorder isn't good to use because you'll get a lot of false positives, so to speak.
Well,
is that true?
That could be true. It may deteriorate. What doesn't deteriorate? That's man-made. If it's man-made, it's going to break down eventually. And a digital recorder does last quite a while. They work on sample rates and so forth, little computer chips, and those have been known to fail, of course. They get returns all the time. But with false positives, with the trained ear, you learn what false positives are in a recorder that's malfunctioning, perhaps. You'll learn to pick those out. It depends on decibels. It just depends on so many things. Did we hear that? Should we have heard that? And you just you train yourself enough to pick those certain things out, those false positives. You can hear a voice in the background, for example, because I get a lot of EVP emailed to me. I have to put myself in that situation because I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself throws out credibility because I wasn't there.
Right. And it's so hard to prove, though, that kind of stuff.
Sure. And listening to those, I have to put myself in those situations where they're at and so forth. Picture myself there, shut my eyes. This is me during their whole session, processing it, analyzing it. And I do several sweeps through the thing. And it's what you draw out of it, the time you put into it. It's important to put that time into it. If you really want to get into EVP work, which I feel is a craft, it's not necessarily a tool. It's more of a craft because it's something you learn more and more over time. And you get into a field such as this, you educate yourself, you're a force to be reckoned with out there, because I'm telling you, EVP specialists, CL, we're few and far between anymore. There's not that many left. Everybody's going to the I want it now audio recordings.
Yeah. Yep. You're right
And
about that.
they want real time. They don't want to take the time anymore. They want it now. And I get it. Boy, did I want it now. Oh my God, did I want it now. But you don't always get it now in this field.
Well, as
And
a
it's-
result, though, it's everybody's using those internet Siri-based game apps, and I feel like a lot of those aren't legit.
No,
Oh, I feel like they're not.
let's have an app discussion. Now there's some, don't get me wrong. There are some out there that are pretty cool, especially the maps and so forth that they have. Pretty ingenious little map apps they have, as far as that, where you can pinpoint the haunting and so forth. That's pretty neat. But the ones I've seen, as far as the ghost boxes per se, where they have the words. See, these words are typed into a program, and I mean the app is then developed, and every once in a while it may say a certain thing. It may depend on some variable within that program that triggers that word, but I don't know if that's spirit based or not. I don't know. I can't put my faith into that yet. I haven't researched it enough yet, for one thing. That's why I'm still stuck in the old EVP world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not educated enough to take that next step into. Now, I did work with a method. It's called the Estes method, folks. It's a pretty cool method. I will give it that. It does isolate you. It does take you down. It's a little complicated to explain, but it does seem to work in the moment. It's a real-time kind of communication. But I'm more used to a delayed conversation. And I think, for example, when I'm doing a client investigation and I go there for the first visit, gather the evidence, leave, process it at home, that gives a gap, that gives a break, that gives it time to calm down. You go back for another visit, it could be completely different. You may capture nothing. You may capture more than you did the first time, because now they understand what's going on and you're back. So now they know how they can communicate. So that may increase activity. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. So each step, each time you go out there and expend your energy, your money in these things, folks, keep it simple. You don't need a lot to get started. You need, maybe a recorder. You don't need an EMF meter to start. Maybe a thermometer, a lot of stuff you can get off your watch. Just be careful. Keep the thing in airplane mode. The problem is a lot of that stuff doesn't work, but keep it in airplane mode. Mm-hmm. That way you don't get that interference. There's just the little things that you need to do. And those courses, see, I'll take them through every step of the way. There's a Paranormal 101, 102, and 103 course up there. It's interactive, folks. It goes at your own pace. It's free. You learn something for free. It's a great place to start. If you're out there looking, hey, I really want to try this, I want to give it a shot, that's a great place to start, I think.
Do you go into different language, not different languages, but just language in general? For instance, 2 weekends ago, we went to the Pioneer Saloon and we did some investigations, and I totally didn't expect this, but we got 2 EVPs, and it's my first 2 EVP ever that said F off.
Yeah.
Both times.
Those are the best.
Did they have language like that back then? I just think of like these Guys in the 19s, I thought they were, I thought they were a little more
Gentleman-like.
yeah.
Well, sometimes you know as well as I do, you get those what are called malevolent spirits. Some are just cranky, some are bitter, and they'll pop off things like that. I've captured a lot of things, foul things like that, and they get your attention because you're sitting here.
I was like, oh.
You're sitting here processing your evidence. You're listening. Chef off. Whoa. I mean, it completely takes you off guard. And that's exactly what you want because it snaps you back into that reality because you have a tendency to, your brain does, I will say. You could be paying full-blown attention. And I've done this several times. Full-blown attention. And you're listening to that constant hiss, that constant white noise. You're gonna doze off. If you don't take breaks, folks, you will fall asleep. It will put you down slowly and surely, but it will. And take breaks and make sure you just do it in short segments. Don't sit there and say, okay, I'm just going to tackle this entire 30 minutes here. And make sure if it's a 30-minute recording, you listen to the entire 30 minutes of the recording.
You know what, Todd, though? That's one of my things. I always leave a live camera running in the corner of the room somewhere at all times, even if we're just setting up. And then I use 2 recorders in the room that's recording at all times. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten some of the best evidence that way because it seems like the activity will happen as we're setting up or as we're tearing down or when we least expect it, we'll be out for a break or something. Something will happen in that space.
I think, in my experience over the years, their spirits are extremely curious. They're very, very curious. They see these things that are perhaps from a completely different era, and they're flashing and beeping, and they don't know what the hell these things are. So they're just going to hover over them, maybe mess with them a little bit. I think it really is that simple. I don't think I don't think we need a lot of the complications that are out there to understand what's really going on because I think it's something as natural as life itself. Life is natural. We live it every day. And I think that is something as natural. We're just kind of passing over it, trying to prove it with science. And I don't think that's ever going to be done. Folks,
lifetime.
Drop the pencils, eat a Twinkie. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute to get there. But I give you, I trust me, I respect for everybody that works in this or around this field, CL, because it's so crazy. It draws you in, yet it pushes you away at the same damn time.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You know what I found that works? Like if you go to a location where nobody's ever investigated before, mm-hmm. You can sit in a room. Like I've experienced this firsthand. You can sit in a room and nothing will happen. But the minute you try to explain, hey, this box, if you talk, I might be able to hear you, you'll start getting interaction. Like if you try to teach them.
Exactly.
Somehow.
They could be, okay, they're disembodied. Okay, they're just like you and I. They just don't have a body. And I think we have a soul. That soul is what transitions, not a mass per se. I think it just becomes everything. It's energy. It can manifest. It can travel. It can do whatever. So having them appear, most likely the most common is the apparition. For example, most people can't see the bottom half. They'll see the top half, not the bottom half. I've seen 2 in my time. One was full. Oh, sorry about the balloon.
What's up with the balloons? You got some weird clown thing going on back there?
Oh, it does fireworks too. I mean, it's crazy stuff. But no,
Sorry about that. But I even lost my train of thought because of all the confetti that was so gorgeous. Sorry, folks. But with the most common is the apparition sighting. There's so many different stages. All of those are explained as well. Like I said, folks, you know, CL and I can sit here for hours and go down these rabbit holes.
Yeah, we can.
They're insane and they're fun. Oh, trust me, they're fun to go down. They really are. Just hang on. Hang on to something. Don't let it take you all the way in there. But, you know, use common sense with this. There's so much to learn with the field. You can't just watch one of these television shows and say, okay, I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to go to Vistaprint and get a T-shirt. I'm good. No, that's not how it works, folks. Not how it works. Educate yourself.
Man.
Get out there and actually help people. Help people.
Yeah.
You don't do this to get likes and do different poses and so forth. That's not what it's all about. It's not about how many people on a film crew can I get. It's not about that. It's about getting out there and figuring out what the hell happens when we die. That's why we're here.
I suggest just turning off the TV. Just don't watch those shows anymore. It was good when it first started, you know,
Sure.
back in the day, but I think it's gotten to, let's face it, all they care about is fame and money.
It is.
I don't care who it is. That's all they care about. It's got nothing to do with the field or paranormal anymore. It's so far from that now.
It's completely unfortunate. It really is.
Yeah. It's a disappointment.
It's a big disappointment. It's an embarrassment. You know, I mean, we struggle the way it is. People taking us seriously. Most don't. And then stuff like that happens. No, that's just another slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be real careful. This community will make or break you. It really will. It can. It's a very powerful beast. My goodness, I've seen it at work. It is an extremely powerful beast when it works together and it unifies for something. And I've seen it several times. And lately, it's just gone into so many different groups and little bubbles, little cliques. You can't follow anything anymore. You don't know who does what now. You don't. Are you doing this now? Or are you doing this? But you were doing this for years. What happened? You know, it's hard to follow even my old friends on here, my old buddies. It's hard to follow them and see what they're doing. And they'll look at me. They don't know what the hell I'm doing. They'll see EVP. Oh yeah, Bates is still doing EVP. Okay, he's good. You know, and they'll leave me alone. But there's a community out here that is amazing when it works.
Yeah.
And the things that we've discovered, the leaps and bounds we have made, which we really have with communication wise anyway. So many great things are happening with the Rathmans, you know, Ron and Lourdes. My goodness.
Oh, Tony's great. He's like one of my favorite EVP guys out there. So I had an investigation at the Joshua Tree Inn, and I have a really good friend in Nashville. He's an older gentleman. He just had his 90th birthday, believe it or not. Oh. He was best friends with Graham Parsons. And so he told me, you need to go stay there and see. So I did. I stayed there for a couple of days in the room, and I just picked up unbelievable EVPs that really, like, I played it back for him, and it sounds like Graham Parsons. And so I sent them to Tony. He helped me clean them up because they're like EVP on top of EVPs and things like that.
Yeah.
He did a great job, but he's another one go-to for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Tony's a champ. Tony's an amazing guy. Genius. Just absolute genius, Tony is. And, you know, with people like that in the field, in the community, making these breakthroughs and so forth, I'm just here to teach new people, man. That's me. Been there, done that. Here to teach new people.
So does your program go into, because this is where my hang up is, I have all these great EVPs, but I really don't know how to clean them up and display them. Like, I want to put them out there, and I want to build like a library so that people can go listen to them. I don't want to just hide it for myself. I want to, and that's what's happening out in the field nowadays. I'm going to put them on my website, and you decide. I want you to listen to them.
I have 2 up there now that teach you how to go through it using the software, proper steps, and then I'm working on a more advanced one. And that's going to teach you how to now. What I teach, what I know is Adobe Audition, so everything's based on Adobe Audition. I know that costs money, folks, but I promise you it's worth it if you're really into this. If not, Audacity, WavePad, all those great ones work too. But it's going to be designed to take you step by step how to do that, because it's tough to sit there. You can't to put the recorder up to your ear. Sure, you may be able to hear something, but you can't properly analyze it unless you get that. You have to digitalize it. Unfortunately, it already is. It's on the digital. Unless you're using an analog, I cry every time I do it. CL when I transfer something from magnetic tape to digital, it's like no. You know, a part of me dies, but that's I digress for that. That's that's old school stuff.
Dies.
But
you
with the
really
digital,
fragmented.
but with the digital, it's quite simple to analyze it. There's less is more. Less is always more. I know a lot of folks get in there and think, okay, if I do a noise reduction over all this noise, it'll really quiet it down. Oh, it quiets it down, all right. It mutes the hell out of it, folks. You have to know what you're doing in there. And I've got a course that I'm doing, and I am excited about it. And there's 2 of them in there now that go over in detail how to do it, but this one's in more detail on how to do it with software. And you do it always in a wave form. That's the rawest format, folks, that usually comes out of the recorder is a wave format, .wav. And then you analyze it with wave. Now, when you're completely finished and you want to share this with folks, that's when you convert it to an MP3 at that time, when you're finished, because that compresses it, see, so you can share it. That's all. So it's a lot of fun working with these things because you can, I can sit here and process all kinds of them, CL, send them to you. You may hear something completely different in all of them. You just don't know. You don't know. You don't know until you try.
Well, see, I think that's just it. With you were saying earlier how to listen for them, because I think that's part of the problem. A lot of people aren't using the headphones, and they'll play something. The game telephone. You hear something different every time you hear it.
Yeah. And
so like you're really trained to listen for this stuff.
And it takes experience. It takes time. It takes practice. Use over the ear headphones such as this. Noise cancellation's good. If you can't afford them, these work just fine. Try to concentrate. This is how I concentrate. Try to focus in there when you're doing it. Don't just jump in there and hey, what's up? It's not. You have to kind of get into a mode before you do something like that. And hearing is extremely important because you want something that's going to cancel any outside noises because you're listening for minute sounds. And while you're in there, be careful. Like I said, take breaks every 3 to 5 minutes. Reason being is you're going to start to do what's pareidolia. Okay? You're going to start hearing things. Next thing you know, oh my goodness, call an exorcist. No, it's not. It's not like that. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to hear some things. If you don't see it, you'll learn. There's a course that I have that even goes over a spirit vocal print, what it looks like in audition. Folks, you can see, once you do this long enough, you can see an EVP without even hearing the thing. You know what to look for. You know where they are, where they're going to be. You know where to look for. You try to be one step ahead. It's never going to happen. But you try to be one step ahead of them. And sometimes you get a nice little cookie. Most of the time you get butt kiss, but usually you get a cookie every once in a while. So keep at it. Don't give up. I mean, I can't stress that enough. It may seem tedious. It may seem hard, but it's not. I promise you it all makes sense in the end. I thought the same thing. I was 100% skeptical about all of this stuff. Completely did a 360 because of electronic voice phenomena. And I've stuck by it all these years. And
but
I will continue
one
to do
thing
so.
that really can't be disproved.
Mm-hmm. It's just you just can't. You can try. But at the end of the day, it's the most credible to date. It really is. It's how it all began. It's how it all began with Frederick Jurgensen, for example. A quick story. He captured his own mother. He captured his own mother's voice. Fredwell, my little Fredwell, can you hear me? He captured that on his reel-to-reel recorder. He's out there recording bird calls for his next movie. Not even doing EVP. Bam, it's born. He becomes obsessed with it, and here we are. People like him. There's so many people that have been forgotten, CL, that are the reason why we have the foundation that we have with EVP and ITC. A lot of people have been forgotten. And they need to step back to their roots, go back to their roots, go back to these pioneers, learn from them. Tony has. I respect Tony for that. Rathman. He has. He knows. He's grounded.
Before, and we talked about Tesla and how Tesla was picking up, or is believed to have picked up, different spirits. He went on a deep end with it, and he started believing that a thought was an object. Like thought was actually an energy form that he was picking up on audio. And so he was trying to photograph it and things like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. He was a little bit off, but he was.
And that's back then.
Yeah.
How come we're not doing that now, folks? What the hell? Wake up out there. This is it's things like that are the next thing, that are the next mind-blowing thing that happens, that maybe gives us an answer or maybe another question, but still it gives us one step closer to figuring out that final answer. I mean, it's an exhausting road sometimes, but it's fun. Every bit of it's fun. What you learn, what you gather, the mistakes you make. I mean, tons of mistakes. Oh my goodness. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, folks. Oh geez. I still make them. It's hilarious. I did 2 EVP sessions with my cassette recorder without plugging in the external microphone. I mean, that's a big no-no in the field. Well, I did it twice. It happens. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, we get tired out there. We forget this, forget that. Just have fun. At the end of the day, have fun. But, have respect, for crying out loud. I can't stress that enough either. You get more with honey than you do vinegar out there. Just have respect. Don't provoke. It's not cool. It's gross.
You just reminded me of something. This is a little off topic, but do you remember when I first got this audio microphone set in the switchboard?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I couldn't get it. I couldn't figure out how to set it up. And Henry, another radio producer out of LA, remember him?
Yes.
We couldn't figure out what was wrong with this set. And so I called you, and we were sitting there for like half an hour trying to get it to work. And you said, "Is it plugged in?" I still laugh about that. It has nothing to do with the show. Sorry.
No, those are fun times. Those are good memories. Yeah, I remember that. Holy cow, that was fun. That was yeah. Those are fun times, though. Those are fun times. I mean, those things happen. It's the beauty of it all. But I love it when they all work out. That's what's great, when they all work out.
Hilarious. Have you ever experimented with an ITC equipment from a jar? Have you seen those? Some guy just sent me one.
From a jar. Now I've got a spirit.
But
what in the world is this?
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to put it all together. It's like a little radio.
Like a kit?
Yeah, it's a kit. You put it together. You drill some holes into this. There's a receiver on this. You plug in a battery, and the echo from the jar is you're supposed to be able to hear voices coming through it.
Huh.
It's called the Spooky Tesla Spirit Radio Parts Kit.
Now that.
And a guy named Mike sent it to me.
That may be worth a shot. Something like that may be worth a shot, vibration wise. I'm speaking vibration wise.
And you can
That thing
almost
would put
hear it.
off a lot of vibration. Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm going to build it.
That's
and
pretty
see-
interesting. I mean, boy, they're coming up with some crazy stuff, and they're using their heads. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's got the whole little set in
It's
there.
got the whole kit. It's got everything you need.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see it or not.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you've got everything. Where are you going to try it at? What do you think? What are you going to do?
Well, I catch a lot of EVPs, it seems like, in cemeteries. So I'm going to build it, and I usually test equipment out. What better place, right? The cemetery.
Good choice. Good choice.
I'm going to take it out to where I got the FUs. That's a fun year for it.
Yes, I'm back. Can you please elaborate now?
Yeah, that's where I'm going to take it.
Yeah, give that a shot. That'd be a lot of fun. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, it's great that they're using their heads, but we're using our heads, to do something good. These devices, there's so many of them. Austin Maynard, he's a oh my goodness, that guy in this field, he is a whiz kid when it comes to those things. He can spit those things. Austin Maynard is his name.
Down.
Austin Maynard. He is the man for ITC devices, and he does them custom. He does all kind. He made a Darth Vader one. I was, oh my goodness, it was amazing. and I don't know enough for those. I've got one of those. Sherry bought me an SB7, I think it's called, the Ghost Box.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I've used it a couple times. It's interesting. I've used it a few times. But my ears are trained for something different. My ears are trained for something way different than that kind of noise. Processing that kind of noise, I learned with the Estes method and using that Ghost Box, is harder for me to process it because there's so much going on. You've got constantly, and you're having to fish through that and trying to listen to word for words. That's rough. That's exhausting. That your brain is just beating the side of your head while that's going on. So I kind of stick to the shh. I'll stick with that for a minute. That at my age, that helps me. I think I'm maybe too old for this young stuff.
I don't know though. That SB7, that thing really works too. So the first time I bought that thing off of, I bought that one off of somebody, and I took it to a cemetery like I normally do. And it was the oldest cemetery in Nashville. And there's like this 6-foot wall that goes around the back end of it. So it's pretty hard to go in and out of it is where I'm trying to get at. And I was all the way in the back of this thing, and I turned on the box and I got nothing for 30 minutes, just nothing but static. All of a sudden, my dog starts growling. I had my dog, and this homeless guy is like darting around the tombstones, coming closer and closer to me. And he had me kind of cornered. There was no way of getting out. I was kind of cornered where I was in the back of the cemetery against this wall. And all of a sudden he starts coming toward me like directly. And on the spirit box, back to back, there's 3 different voices that came out that said, it said something about get out quickly. Be careful.
Whoa.
And it was all in allusion to this guy coming at me. It was the weirdest thing. So I know it works.
Okay. Now, see, that's an experience right there. That's something you can't explain.
Yeah.
You heard those words yourself.
Right.
I, for one, trust you. Therefore, you're speaking the truth.
I have a story written of it somewhere that has like the exact dialogue of what happened.
And that's where the beauty of ITC comes in. Instrumental transcommunications, what it's short for. And to have that, you have it's a completely different type of communication. It's instantaneous. So somehow spirit is finding a way to manipulate maybe the radio frequency or the device itself and get these words across, because that's not cool. I don't believe in coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason myself. But to have you have that experience, get out quickly, be careful. No, that's not a coincidence. That's divine somehow.
So I know it works though, Todd.
Oh yeah. Oh, they work. I mean, I have fun with it. I can't, my old brain can't process that stuff that quickly. And I did have success, and it was toward the end. We went to the Ashmore Estates last month, and we were doing the Estes method. I did it for the first time. It was an incredible experience. It really was. When I first started doing it, I couldn't make heads or tails. I was hearing complete words and then hearing nothing, and then hearing gibberish and trying to repeat gibberish. And then it's almost as if your entire being has to tune in. And I was literally zone out. You're so much like this, folks. You go into your own world and you're hearing all these different fragments, and your job is to repeat those fragments. Well, toward the end, they started to make more sense. And guess what that was plugged into? I didn't even know. Nicole Tito set it up. It was plugged into my spirit box the whole time.
Wow.
So, I took that home with me too. That's a learning lesson. Hey, Todd, open your freaking mind a little bit, and that's what's happening. That's what happens to you in this field. I'm working in stages, I guess, because I'm so old school and I'm old fashioned like that, but I'm blossoming a little more. I'm branching out a little more, getting into some of these newer methods, but still sticking with the same ethics. That's what's important. Yeah.
Well, Todd, we are at the bottom of the hour. Can you believe it? It just went by so fast.
Yeah, it did.
So if people want to sign up for the classes or buy your book or anything, how do they get in touch with you?
Even better, you can visit the website, evpexplorations.com. You can actually read my book there for free, exclusively on the website. It's on the book page, evpexplorations.com.
Todd, I'm going to sign up for one of your classes.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. I go in there myself, refresher stuff. It's fun times. It really is. It's good for you.
So is this one of those classes where you, is it like you just take yourself through it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just play each class.
Yep. Each course, the way it works, it opens up. You select the course you want. You register for it. That way it keeps track of your certificates, folks. That's the only thing. I don't keep.
Oh,
your
you get
email.
Certificates. Tell me about that.
You get a nice certificate there at the end. I did the signature thing, and it was a lot of fun. But it tells you what course you completed, and you get that. You can print those out. You can download them, share them, however you like. But you get a certificate after each course, and like I said, you select your course, you register. It takes you to a little learning page. It pretty much takes you off site, but on site, and I have it to where the top of the page and all the distractions are out of your way. That way you can be able to concentrate on the thing, because it's text-based, but it's not heavy text. You're not sitting there going, oh my goodness, is this thing ever in? It's not like that. It's pretty quick. You go through them pretty quick. And then you get your certificate at the end, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's you're going to learn a lot. There's just a lot. There's advanced. We've got EMF meter courses. I just put up one on how to gauge temperatures at a location using equipment. A lot of people forget about that, temperatures. There's a 101, 102, 103 course on pretty much everything you can imagine. So many good things there for you.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Well, Todd, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a joy to have you on.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
It's fun to catch up.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you've been listening to the Gateway Podcast, brought to you live from 107.7 FM New Orleans. I'm supposed to be on the show on Into the Night on Sunday with Sean Callie. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, though, because I'm going to be flying out of San Antonio that night. So I'll see where my schedule lands me that night. Next Tuesday, I have someone from New Orleans coming on to talk about haunted New Orleans. You don't want to miss that. So stay tuned, and thank you. Until next time.